Top 3 places to put carpet. Number 1, floor. Still going with floor.
Yeah.
Is wall number 2?
Yes, wall's number 2. Ceiling number 3.
And at least ceiling. Hello and welcome to Is This Good? The show where we boldly, conclusively, and scientifically decide what things in this big wide world are good. I'm Matt Austin, and with me as always is production powerhouse Jason Doyle.
Hello.
Hi JD, thanks for coming. And today's guest is a fashion icon who can get a fit off like no one else. Winnie the Pooh fleece jacket? Mother. Wife respecter tucked into jeans? Slay. Crossbody tactical satchel? Zaddy. Train engineer overalls? All aboard! Ankle length mad scientist coat? It's alive! And that's before we get to the shoes. My God, the shoes, clogs, sneaks, and sandals galore. He's also the co-host of No Dunks, the oldest and best basketball podcast on the planet. It's Trey Kerby. Trey, welcome to Is This Good?
Oh, thank you so much for having me back. Thank you for the intro, running down some of my most legendary fits of all time. I'd like to add today's as well. Stepped out of the house today, getting ready to leave. It's cold outside, and Laura looks at me and says, "You look like a farming version of Sherlock Holmes."
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty
mixing
good.
worlds here.
And what Watson would be maybe his horse in that scenario, or a farmhand? An impressionable young farmhand?
Yeah, I could see it going either way. But there's definitely something there, like a retelling of Sherlock Holmes, but he's in the Wild West trying to solve these mysteries.
Yes, he's like, haha, these crops are dead. And then Watson's like, oh, yes, I believe you did not water them. And then he would go, ha, mystery solved.
Elementary.
Elementary, my dear Watson. Yeah, I'd read that intro once just before we got on. It sounded weird to me, but, I was like, well, I already wrote it. I got to say it now,
Yeah, thanks for
And I
calling
never
me
really
mother.
used-
I think that's a compliment, right?
Oh, it's as big as it gets, baby. Daddy's
appreciate
gone, mother is in.
Oh, okay, wow. Good to know.
And, yeah, mothers, I think. Noun and verb. So she's very versatile. She's like a queen, the queen on a chessboard.
Excellent. Great. Mother it up, then.
Do you have anything in your head that jumps out at you that's in this year as the biggest fashion icon that I know?
In this year, Browns.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like Browns have fallen away from my wardrobe over time in favor of blacks, but I'm feeling earth tones this year. Mother Nature's son.
Oh, interesting. So you're not saying browns in general. You're just saying anytime you would have worn black, now wear brown.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I can go full black to brown transition, but I am trying to get some more, I don't know, browns. I'm just like browns in my life right now, Matt. What can I say, man? You could almost consider a off-white sweatshirt like I'm wearing. The most subtle of browns.
Very subtle.
Then we got 3 extra browns on the plaid. Brown pants, man. Yeah. I'm going as brown as I can.
Wow. Okay, you're living your truth here. I mean, I would say anything you do to white that makes it like not pure white is on its way to brown.
Getting closer to brown, yeah.
It's getting closer to brown. And are we still dressing sort of like schlumpy, kind of baggy bums?
You talking about grandpa core?
Grandpa core, yeah. I'm talking about grandpa core, but I'm also talking about like just a sort of vintagey ruffled shirt with a, like an old concert tee on it, a big pant, maybe even some cargos.
Big pants are going nowhere right now. The pants are only getting bigger, and you're definitely still getting some sleazy vibes for sure, but myself, I'm feeling a little bit more tailored these days. I like to wear a collar every day except for Friday.
Oh, that's Formal Friday?
Well, that's the rub. That's the rub, isn't it? When the advertisers come in and Formal Friday shows up, you got to change things up. But in general, I'm just trying to harken back to the days of real offices where you'd be wearing a suit Monday through Thursday, and then on Fridays, you can kick back a little bit. So that's why I try and wear a collar more often. I got all these collared shirts downstairs, and they're just taking up space.
Well, I've actually not asked you this, JD. Was Formal Friday actually something you conceived of and then pitched them and then they accepted it?
Yes.
Or was it the reverse?
No, it was that.
Is that the first time that's ever worked? Because I remember back in the Starters days, like we'd constantly have ideas. They would constantly come to us with shitty ideas that we didn't want to do.
Yeah.
They're like, maybe you could throw darts at this Jack Daniel Tennessee Honey dartboard during the show. Yeah, okay, that's a seamless transition.
Yeah.
But like, we had the meme team. Mm-hmm. And this was at the peak of the Ving Rhames Arby's We Have the Meats.
Yeah.
And we said, why don't we get Ving Rhames to say, we have the memes. Seamless transition. And they were like, oh, that's a good idea. We'll definitely kick that up the ladder.
Yeah.
And then you'd never hear anything back. So I'm impressed that you finally got one in.
I know. Thank you. Yeah. It was a one that I instantly regretted. I mean, as soon as I sent it out, I was like, ugh. They loved it, and I was like, oh, goddamn, this is going to happen. Now I'm going to have to wear a goddamn suit every Friday. But shout out to Indochino. It's coming back, apparently.
There we go. Our first Formal Friday, I had to run an errand at Walmart afterwards, and I went and I checked out, and the cashier said to me, how are things in the business world? Just completely shocked to see somebody in a suit in the middle of the day. I was like, oh, good. Buying low, selling high.
I love it. Love it. You
I
didn't have the
yeah.
heart to tell them, that's actually a costume.
yeah. Literally a joke for me to be wearing this right now.
Their culture is not your costume, okay? And you're also like, oh, and also my workday ends at about 11:30 a.m.
It's tough out here.
Before we start, now that I have you here, any comments on Jimmy Butler's forthcoming country music album? I'm interested in the country music part. You're interested in both the country music and the Jimmy Butler part. So, any intel?
Well, the main intel I have, unfortunately, is that Jimmy doesn't want to sing on the country album. He wants to be the DJ Khaled of country. Bringing together all the greats, getting them to work together, managing those egos to make some of the best country music we've ever heard. I don't know if it'll ever release, but if it does, I'll listen to it on day one just to see what's happening.
Wow.
So do people even... Because to me, DJ Khaled is like saying... If I want to be the DJ Khaled of X, of podcasting, I would be saying I want to be the most mediocre. I'm famous, but incredibly mediocre talent at my chosen thing. Which, I don't know, I also feel like, especially in the NBA world, we kind of helped create this monster of DJ Khaled. He's always at All-Star Weekend. We were all like, there was a while we were like high key, major key, or whatever the hell he was saying. Yeah. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. And we created this monster, and we can't get rid of him anymore.
I mean, you're right. You would have think that Khaled's time would have ran out kind of the way Snapchat did. Snapchat was on top of the world alongside DJ Khaled, given his major keys, writing wave runners just all around. But he has somehow maintained, and like you're saying, nobody really knows what he does. He just brings people together, makes them happy, and then... everybody else makes the song, and it turns out okay. Were we part of it? Probably so. The NBA world definitely fostered DJ Khaled's career. I would agree.
Hey, and let's apologize for Kevin Hart now, too, while we're at it. We helped with that one, too.
Yeah, we were part of that.
Yeah, DJ Khaled, though, he really does insinuate himself, not subtly, into the songs that he produces, right? I mean... all the DJ Khaled, he's literally screams his name. So I hope Jimmy does insinuate himself into these country songs. I mean,
yeah, but that's true. What would Jimmy Butler's like Young Metro Don't Trust You be? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or Mike Will Made It. What would it be for him?
He needs to have something. In the first 30 seconds of the song, just like JD's saying, DJ Khaled, we the best. You don't hear a lot of ad-libbing at the beginning of country songs, but maybe that's the innovation.
But as country music merges more with hip-hop, I think we could see more ad-libs. And maybe he just goes, big face boy, or something like that.
Big face boy. That's not bad, actually. No rear view mirrors.
Or a well-placed yeehaw, here and there. But or what about staying true to the actual genre? And you know how sometimes they'll break it down like an old Johnny Cash song? Like in the bridge, they'll talk, So story time is Jimmy time. Like he'll tell the story of how he's been, working away as a barista at the Big Time Coffee or whatever, like he's the working man,
right.
and then whoever takes over. I don't know. I think it would be good if it stayed true to country music, the genre itself. That's all.
Yeah, like he's got a song and then it's not him, but then it's like about, I don't know, regret or something, and then in the bridge he comes on and it's like, one time I was on a team called the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I didn't want to be there. I called up my friend Rachel Nichols, and I set up an interview right after I joined the scrubs to beat the starters. Yeehaw, what a time it was. And then it's like, goes
Brad
right
Paisley
back into
launches
the
into a
chorus.
guitar solo.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm so in on this now.
All right, let's get to housekeeping, actually, because today it's a little bit more complicated than normal. It's not usually like this, so I might say that. So if you'd like to support the show, go to patreon.com/isthisgood. You'll get ad-free episodes. You'll get access to our thriving community on Discord. You'll get an exclusive episode every month, and that episode will come out this Thursday. So for a free trial, go to patreon.com/isthisgood. Of course, you can always send topics for future shows to isthisgoodpod@gmail.com. Subscribe on YouTube. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts. So as I said, Trey, it's a little bit more complicated today. I'm still going to give you a topic, and you're still going to tell me if it's good. But today, that topic is going to be randomly selected by a spinning wheel that is under JD's control. So if you're watching on YouTube, you see the wheel pop up there. Your finest in premium free random generator.
Yeah, you had to get the free version. There's pop-up ads. There's all sorts.
We don't have the budget, JD. This also reminds me about how when Tass used to come in so I would say maybe this would be like 2015, 16 of Starters days, and he'd be like, I want a graph showing how many wedgies we have this year versus the most we've ever had or something like that.
No wedgie tracker back then.
No wedgie tracker back then. I'd be like, well, we got to make the graph. I don't know how to make a graph, so I would just Google like free graphs, and Taz would always be so furious at how shitty the graph looked, and I'd be like, okay, look, I can crop out just the graph and put it on a cooler background, so we're equally phoning this one in. So on said wheel, there are 18 topics. Mm-hmm. Why 18, you ask? Because you need to legally be 18 to vote on whether something's good. Mm. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people
did not know that.
A lot of people don't know that.
Is that a federal regulation or is that state by state?
I was going to say, that's just Quebec where I'm from. 19 in Ontario and, of course, 21 years old in the great United States of America. I can go die in a war, but I can't vote on whether something's good? All right, here we go. JD, bring up the beautiful free wheel.
Let's go.
You know what? Before you give it a spin, I'm actually going to read the possible topics. Do you think that's a good idea?
Sure, why not?
Maybe we should have talked about this before, but I want to build anticipation. So here are the 18 topics: revolving doors, acapella groups, brunch, getting dressed to work from home, beanbag chairs, New Year's resolutions, carpeting, gift baskets, cruise control, watching sports on tape delay, reading multiple books at the same time, latte art, bagging your own groceries, dollar coins, sleeping naked, reading speeches off your phone, shaking hands, and customer service chatbots. Trey, I know I just threw a bunch of things at you there, but anything jump out at you as like, wow, I hope that magical freewheel lands on this topic.
Shaking hands?
Well, this man's got some thoughts. All right, well, hopefully we get that.
Yeah.
But we have no control. And we only have a limited amount of timer, so we might not get to all 18 topics. JD, give that wheel a spin. There's no sound effect, but that's fine. I'll go kick. Oh, first topic, gift baskets. Are gift baskets good? Immediately, my gut reaction is I'm going to say that no. because you're out of idea. You don't even have an idea. A gift basket is always the last idea. What should we send them? Something thoughtful, something they might actually need, something they might use. Oh, do we know their favorite thing? Because we'll just get them their favorite thing. No, we get a gift basket because amongst the 40 items, there might be one that they'd be like, oh, pretzel sticks. That's pretty cool. But I think it's kind of an insulting gift, and as you see, it's why they are normally given to someone you barely know. Like, you got to say thank you to maybe your kid's teacher or something like that. Gift basket. Trey, where do you stand?
I think I'm with you, Matt. In general, I would say gift baskets, not good, but I will make an exception for a custom basket. When you're like, okay, parrot, I'm not sure what to get you. I've been buying you gifts for 40 years. I don't know what exactly to pull this year, but what if I combined a lot of things that could make a movie night for you or something like that?
Okay.
I think a finely tailored gift basket that's really just a small collection of little gifts that somebody might like, I think that can be good. But if you're just picking, okay, I like this gift basket to go to my chiropractor, I think you can do a little better.
And in the front, it's always got like a stuffed teddy bear or something with a whole. He's holding
your
a
chiropractor
heart.
doesn't want a teddy bear.
Yeah, it's true. It's why does the basket give you license to tie together random shit? Like, if you just wrapped up a jar of artisanal honey, the stuffed bear, and I don't know, like fucking those perma ice cubes. You know what I'm talking? They're rocks. They're like whiskey rocks, and you put them in the freezer so you can keep reusing them. Yeah. If you just wrap those three things and gave them to someone, they'd be like, did you already have these at home? But if you put them in a basket, suddenly it's like, wow.
Oh, they go together now.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't realize they go together. It's the basket. Wow, I wonder how could we harness the power of the basket for other things when we're just like a potluck maybe.
You know what I mean?
Basket? Like you just
like a picnic basket?
The picnic basket is the food equivalent of the gift basket. That's true.
Sure.
That's probably where we got it from, because a picnic is a bunch of different shit in a basket, but everyone loves it.
Yeah. Sure.
All right.
Is the basket
JD,
good? Like, is it good to get? Is the basket an underrated part of receiving a basket?
100%.
I think so too. Like, baskets in gift baskets, they're just giving them away. It's like jam with jars. Jars just multiply in your house if you're regularly buying jam. Sometimes you won't have enough baskets around, but it's nice to have a spare basket.
When do you need a basket?
Oh, well.
To put your tiny daughter in when you're doing an Ann Getty's photo shoot?
Yes.
That's a
You're
big
like,
time.
Laura, we have the basket. I just need you to go ahead and get 30 heads of lettuce.
Baskets for me, only laundry, if I'm being honest, or transporting a lot of weird stuff.
Right.
Yeah, but a wicker basket's not good for that.
Speak for yourself. Yeah. I use a wicker laundry basket.
Oh, well, how old-timey of you.
Yeah. I think they're good. I think gift baskets are good. Like, I've never not liked a gift basket. Yes, there's some shit in there that I'm not going to have, but you just said artisanal honey. I'm never buying artisanal honey for myself, but if it shows up in a gift basket, I'm delighted.
It tastes the same as regular honey.
Yeah, but the allergens,
also reminding.
It's all about the allergens with artisanal honey.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure. In the early days of podcasting, and I'm sure they still exist, remember like Boxes was an advertisement? Like, I think, was it like Birchbox or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
And the advertisements are like, every month we'll send you cool stuff. And it's like, what stuff? And they're like, stuff. And you're like, well, what? And they're like, whatever we have.
The coolest stuff we have.
I forgot about those. I guess those went away. The
I
mystery
think people
gift
eventually realize I don't want like a tiny knife or something like that came in this box and a I don't know, camo long sleeve t-shirt. All right, gift baskets generally not good. JD, please bring up the freewheel and take her for a spin.
Spin away, boys.
I was wondering, does it feel too long to have it spin? I think they chose a perfect amount of time for it to spin.
Quick spin.
We already have an answer. Getting dressed to work from home. Well, you guys did experience this. See, it's tricky. You did have to work from home during COVID, but you were also broadcasting that work to many thousands of people. So I don't know where you stand. And I'm going to have to keep it 100 and say not good. I'd like to say it's good from the point of view of like, even if you're working from home, get into a routine. Wake up, take your shower, if that's your yen, get dressed, shave, sit down, really feel like you're actually working. You'll be more efficient. You'll get into the day better. But I never do it. And I just got made fun of on a recent show for wearing what I wore to bed on this podcast and trying to cover it up by wearing a giant sweatshirt.
A poncho-like sweatshirt.
Which, Trey, I feel like you would have loved that sweatshirt, actually.
You think it was a good sweatshirt?
Well, I think you would have enjoyed seeing me in a very baggy sweatshirt.
Is this your new style move for 2024? Extra big sweatshirts?
Well, honestly, the time that I'm most on trend is when I wake up in the morning and don't care, because then as the day goes, I'm like, well, I'll wear my regular, old man jeans that are too skinny and my T-shirts that are probably too tight and my hoodies, finely tailored, as always. But right in the morning is when I'm at my schlumpiest and baggiest, so I'm most on trend.
What a tangled web you've weaved. Just stick it out, man. Eventually all your stuff will come back in and you'll be styling on them. As for me, I would always change clothes before we recorded when we were recording from home at COVID. Kind of because not so much the getting in a routine stuff, but I have trouble feeling fully awake if I'm still wearing my nighttime clothes. They're just too soft. Like I like to put on a harder pair of pants was the key for me. Whether it be jeans, Carhartts or something like that. Something with a little scratch to the legs. I didn't like having fleece on my legs basically when we were recording because I just didn't feel like, I felt like I was still in my pajamas.
Right.
And I didn't feel like I was at work so much. So I was definitely a get dressed before that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I get it. Until you put on the burlap, you don't feel like you can really
Yeah,
perform.
exactly.
JD, what about you? Because you're constantly working from home.
Yeah.
You're working from home right now.
That's true. That is true. I'm more of a shower beforehand, but I'm wearing track pants right now and a big, massive cardigan, so I'm very much in the comfort zone. But I'm less front-facing camera. I go on camera every once in a while, but I'm not. I'm not out there for the world, but I guess I kind of am sometimes. I am right now.
Does it feel
now.
to you like you're like you have to shower because you're almost hosting people, like you're welcoming people into your home?
It's more like what Trey said. Like I need to feel refreshed and awake. He gets that from the clothes. I get that from being showered and clean. Like clean clothes, schlubby clothes, but clean body. Refreshed. It gets the blood moving, being in the shower. You know
And
what I mean?
new clothes, I would assume, from your nighttime clothes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a change.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you guys are better than I am, so that's two goods and one not good.
So you're
JD,
telling
bring up the
me,
free
I
wheel.
mean, you're on the West Coast. It's more morning time for you right now. We're pre-shower, pre-changed currently.
Oh, you got it.
Respect.
You know why also? Because to me, part of the benefit of working from home is you can okay, I got a free 90 minutes here. I'm going to work out. So I never want to shower first thing because then my brain's going to go, well, you just showered. Don't go work out.
Yeah.
And I don't need one more voice in my brain telling me not to do something.
Fair.
So I find if you have option, it's like an NFL coach. You have optionality if you don't shower right away. I could get dirty at any time.
So true.
Dog wants to go outside, roll around in the mud. I might just go do that once we're done here.
Yeah.
Not if I showered first. No way.
But not if I showered. No,
So
no,
that's-
that's shower after.
2 showers in a day, not an option.
There was absolutely a time when you knew me and I lived in your city where I would shower twice almost every single day. Because I'd shower before work, then I'd feel gross coming home from work. The filth of Turner Studios off of me.
So gross there.
And, so I would come home and sometimes I'd be going out or perhaps even on a date. So I would shower twice a lot.
Yeah.
And now it's tough to get me in one shower.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. People can change.
People can change.
Yeah, for sure.
People can change. All right, let's give that wheel a spin. 2 great topics so far. Can't wait to see what the free wheel does here. Carpeting.
Carpeting.
Straight up carpeting.
Okay.
Carpeting. I want to put in a good word for carpeting. Because I think most people, when I look on Zillow, based on the photos, most people think carpeting's not good. It's hard to find.
Yeah.
And yet, when we have a hardwood floor, I don't know, it could be laminate in our bedroom. What's the first thing we put under the bed? An area rug.
Yeah.
Now, we could sit here and try to pretend there's a true difference between a rug and a carpet, but we all know it's the same thing. I mean, it's not wall to wall,
Right.
but it is a porous fabric nonetheless.
True. It's
So
way
I think
easier.
we do want carpets, though.
Yeah, but it's way easier to swap out a rug than like a wall-to-wall carpet. You're stuck with the carpet.
Yeah, you can change rugs
I mean,
every year, every
yeah.
2 years if you need to.
No, it's under the bed. It's hard to get out.
Spoken
every-
like a true textiles man.
Right.
This guy is pro carpets, and he's saying carpets and rugs are all the same. I'm in on rugs, and I'm out on carpets. The look of hardwood is just more attractive to me. You can change it, obviously, by adding a rug. It's easier to clean. Swiffering, mopping, things like that. Whereas with a full-on carpet, like my mom's house is still carpeted. It just takes a lot longer to clean. It's at its peak early in the life of the carpet, and then from there on, it's like a car at a car dealership. It loses 30% of its value
totally.
pretty quickly once people start walking on it. So I would go wood over carpet myself.
Never mind, though.
I literally thought you were about to say, yeah, it's like a car pet. And I was like, but we're talking about carpets.
Forget about the walking is the least of the problem of a carpet. It's the day-to-day. If you have a pet, that carpet's getting shit on. And there's nothing you can do. There's like...
No, that is the disaster.
Yeah.
We've washed our carpet so many times. It's a cheap cost plus world market rug, and we've watched it numerous times. I'm waiting for it to fall apart.
Right.
But don't you think, Trey, that maybe your mother is smart because she's saving a lot of money on fuzzy socks?
I mean, that is a good point. Walking on a carpet is much nicer.
Yeah.
There's often
It's like
times
walking
where
on
I'm
the
like,
moon.
it's time to wear some flip-flops in the house because my knees are sore, and then I don't feel great about myself when I'm getting sore from walking around on hardwood. So maybe carpet is maybe once you hit that age, carpet is what you want to go to for safety as well. But
a lot of more
I'll deal with it
traction.
now.
A lot more traction.
So you're telling me after a night of ball, you gotta wake up and put on the orthopedic Havaianas?
Give me my UFOS recovery slides. I gotta walk around the house.
What are those? Because I in the running community, I see these all the time, like recovery slides or recovery sandals, and I'm like, what truly is this?
I'm not totally sure either.
Okay, good.
It just to me looks like a very thick-soled flip-flop or slide or something like that, so that it's very cushy when you're walking.
Yeah, but I guess, what about shoes?
Yeah, there are those.
Have you heard of
There are
shoes?
those. It's easier to slip on a slide,
Yeah,
obviously.
for sure.
Hold on, I'll say, like, I'll put it in its best light. What if you just finished a run and you don't want to burden your hot feet with a sock and a shoe, but you still want it to be at least 7 inches off the ground?
That's the time.
Maybe that's the time.
Get an UFOS.
One more good thing about carpets:
Thank you.
the sound. It absorbs sound.
Oh,
Better for
an audio
sneaking.
man. Oh my God! You know how much better the audio would be if I didn't hear my dogs tippy-tapping across the linoleum here?
Yeah, and we'd hear less of the room, the echo like bouncing around. It would absorb the sound and go more into your
Okay.
mic.
So in a professional recording studio, like, does Rick Rubin have the shag still, or we're all hardwood?
Yeah, I think that in a professional studio you will find hardwood, but the carpeting will be on the walls in the form of sound baffling, right? So, but in a house you don't really put sound baffling on your walls, but the carpet will absorb the sound. So your TV's going to sound better. You're going to be able to hear each other. Like if you're in like a big sort of open space, high ceilings, hardwood floor, lots of windows, it's like an echo chamber in there.
True.
So
So if I hear you right, you're saying 2024 trend: carpets on the ceiling,
sure.
pink champagne on ice.
Yeah, actually, that's a great idea because then you don't have to worry about it getting dirty or shit on. I mean, you might have to, like, it'll be hard to vacuum, that's for sure.
Yeah. Less foot traffic though.
But less.
Unless Lionel Richie comes over.
It's Great point. That's a great point.
Also, I think every time you'd look up, you'd go, like you'd think there was mold on your growing out of your ceiling. So that's not great. But if you had those like panel ceilings, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Put a carpet over that.
Yeah.
Give it a try. What do you have to lose?
Why are we putting carpet just on floors?
Hey, let's do a top 5 list. Top 5 places to put carpet. Number 1, floor, I think.
Okay,
Yeah,
yes.
easy.
Wow. Number 2, I'll say number 2, floor of a car?
Okay,
Aren't
that's
those called
still a
carpets?
floor,
Well,
but
those aren't really carpets. Yeah, no, I take it back. Okay, you know what? Top 3 places to put carpet. Number 1, floor. Still going with floor.
Yeah.
Is wall number 2?
Yes, wall's number 2. Ceiling number 3.
And at least ceiling.
Tough.
I mean, in the 70s, they were putting
floor.
they were putting it on toilet seats. Remember those? Remember the toilet?
Oh,
I do
my
remember
God.
like a shag carpet toilet cover.
So,
Toilet cover, but not seat, JD.
not on the seat, no. But they did have
dangerous.
padded seats.
Padded.
Remember
My
those?
grandmother had one of those
Same.
pink padded thing that feels like it's pre-farting for you. You know what I mean? Like you sit down, it's like
Why does it make a poof when you sit down?
because when you're trying to pee and someone's like, "Oh, go turn the tap on." Maybe the cushioned seat is like trying to send a signal to your brain, like, "Hey, you're in a safe space. It's time to go." All right. Well, with that being said, let's give that free wheel a spin. I'm thinking about paying for this wheel. It's working so well.
This is nice.
I'd like to know what functionality they're going to... I don't even think there's a paid version, just so you know. Brunch. Now, I will say, this is a thing that changes over your life. You talked to me when I was 22, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7.
7,
Sure.
8, 9, 10, which in this case 10 is 30. 1. You're going to say brunch is good because what you want to make the plan the night before while you're all drunk at the bar, the club, and then you will be forgetting much of the evening because you will be drunk, and you want someone or a group of people to reconstruct the night for you. It's basically a way to make the night... It's like leftovers from the night before. It's like going out for a big steak. You wake up in the morning. You still got a great piece of steak. You're going to stretch out the enjoyment of the night because you're going to talk about how fun it was. And it's only sometimes in the morning when you realize how much fun you had the night before.
So you're looking at brunch as just an extension of the night before.
And an excuse to start drinking again.
Sure.
And eating like a high, fatty food, greasy food maybe fixes you up right. You don't want to cook in the morning. You're young. You're lazy. But as you get older, you realize brunch is probably the worst thing in the world, and I have not been in a good decade.
Wow.
Good thing I stopped at 31.
Wow.
You haven't been to a brunch
Trey,
in a decade?
I don't think I've been to breakfast. See?
Nice.
I think
I've gone
I
to
went
a
to
Waffle
brunch
House
with
at
you.
10 a.m. What? Oh, yeah, we did. You just reminded me.
Brunch.
It was
But you were
delightful.
brunching harder in your 20s, up to 22.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
3 years ago, JD.
Yeah.
So, haven't had brunch in 3 years.
Wow. That was your
Until
last
someone
brunch
else.
was with me. Wow.
I swear,
I'm
I
honored.
really, truly do think that was my last brunch.
But it was more of a lunch. It was just like the weekend, and they were serving breakfast things.
And frankly, we had to because I was visiting in Atlanta, and we wanted to hang out. What else? And it was that time that you were free. What else were we going to do?
Exactly right.
Trey, what about you? Brunch man?
I like
Brunch man,
eating
brunch man,
brunch.
brunch man.
That's one of my favorite Drake and Future remixes, the Brunch Man, Jump Man remix, of course. I like eating brunch because I do like to get to eat breakfast foods a little bit later because I'm not always in a hurry to be eating breakfast. But going to brunch, I'm with you, Matt. It feels like you're paying a lot for eggs at a brunch. Things that you could seriously eat at home if you really wanted to. But I do like the recap of the night before. What are we laughing about this late morning that we were laughing about last night? That is a fun part of it, too. And also getting to see what the restaurant that you usually eat dinner at would serve for breakfast, I think is interesting too.
Yeah.
Like, what are you cooking up? Maybe you got sweetbreads at night, but what do you got in the morning? We'll see.
Also, sweetbreads.
Yeah, different sweetbreads. Grainy sweetbreads. But in general, I would say I'm out on brunch for the most part. But when it's time to do it so rarely, I still like it.
Yeah.
Also, one thing we haven't mentioned is the lines. And frankly, if you go to like, I remember there would be like maybe 5 or 6 pre-approved brunch spots in Toronto that everyone agreed with, and they were all places that had a line. As you get older, you're just like, well, like diners and breakfast places don't have a line, and those are just eggs and bacon and hash browns too. And often they're better, and they're usually cheaper. So just fucking grow up. JD, you've grown up. You're mature. There's no way you like brunch.
I don't like brunch. There's one specific scenario. My parents, they live in Puerto Vallarta during the winter months, and whenever we go there, we do have a tradition of going to this golf club that has a great brunch. But really, it's just day drinking because it's unlimited champagne and mimosas, and we spend like 3 or 4 hours there on like this beautiful golf course. No golfing, of course. And it's just,
why would you?
Yeah, and it's just the food is great, and there's a live band and blah blah blah. It's fun, but that's the only scenario.
I was just trying to think about what I know. I know breakfast is desayuno. What's lunch?
Almuerza?
Yes, that's true.
Huh.
So do you think it's called desalmuerza?
Maybe.
They just called it brunch.
Could just be brunch. Yep.
Could just be brunch, yeah.
Okay, well, it could just be brunch, but not for me or for you.
No.
All right, let's see that magical wheel. Tick, 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 tick. And the great thing about this wheel is it knows what it's selected, and it's not going to select it again.
Oh, come on.
They're like, would you like to reconsider on brunch? They have Eggs Benedict.
Holy
okay.
shit, that is... what is fucking Chuck Lorre writing this show? That is sitcom timing.
Okay, let's try again.
When I was doing it at home to test it, it never did that. So suddenly your fingers are on it.
Yes, yeah, here we go.
There might be a button. I think there is a button that says like no repeats. That was not a bit, people. That was not a bit.
Okay, let's try again.
Okay, let's give the wheel a spin again. Brunch 2 times in a row? What's this?
Double brunch?
They're like, if you pay $1.99 per month, we won't keep selecting the same thing every single time. All right, here we go. Dollar coins. All right, obviously, Americans, you don't know what we're talking about. Well, I'm sure you could visualize. No, you do, actually. You do have a dollar coin here, right, Trey?
Sacagawea.
The Sacagawea. That's when you have many dollar coins in a bag.
Yes. That's what it is.
He was waiting behind the door to attack me with a Sacagaweas. Okay, so in Canada we have the loonie. It is a gold coin, $1 coin. We've phased out the $1 bill because here you have the benefit of having both. If you really wanted the $1 coin, you could get it, but you have the $1 bill. We don't have that choice. No optionality. And I was always fine with it, let alone the $2 coin we have in Canada. Mm-hmm. But now that I've been living in America for, I don't know how long, 10 years, a little more than 10 years at this point, I'm off the dollar coins. I never want them back, and I hate them, and I'm saying not good. JD, what will you defend the dollar coin?
Yeah, I love it. From just a point of view of they last longer, they last like 25 years or whatever, and dollar bills.
So you're speaking from the point of view of the Treasury.
The Treasury, yes. But I like having the coins. They're great.
So
I don't miss having a pocket
we booked
full
Janet
of
Yellen on this podcast.
I don't miss having a pocket full of coins, I'll say.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean
that's the worst part.
Yeah, I guess. But you know, like I loved it when like they're the best in Britain. Like a pound coin, like paying for a pint in coins is just awesome. Like, you know what I mean? It just feels good. It's like poker chips almost. You know how it feels good to touch poker chips, you know? Mm-hmm. The tactileness of it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you're making a bet, you just toss it down. It makes this awesome little sound on the felt.
No, because it's carpeting.
Well.
Second best place for carpeting. Casino table.
A table. Table carpeting.
What about
JD,
fake?
you're right about that. It does feel, when you could pay for something with just the coins in your pocket, it almost felt like getting it for free.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're like, that money is out of my bank account. It's not coming out of my wallet either.
Yeah.
It's just pocket change. But really, it's a significant amount of pocket change.
Right.
Because it's dollars. I do miss that factor. And I do think Canada has a cool thing going where they have the loonie, which everybody knows as the dollar coin. Then they added the $2 coin and just called it the toonie. That was brilliant.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Amazing branding.
Now, was it called the toonie when it came out? Like when they announced it, where they like, you've heard of the loonie, now get ready for twice the fun in the toonie? Or was it called something else and people were like, haha, $2 coin, that's a toonie?
Yeah, I think the lexicon just picked up on it. I mean, it wasn't called a loonie. There was a loon on it. That was why they started calling them loonies. But then there was a polar bear, I believe, on the
berries.
Yeah, berries, that doesn't work. Toonies, more fun to say. It's fun to say loonies and toonies.
Yes.
Okay, well, let me tell you a problem from the short king community is that when we have a lot of coins in our pockets, because let alone the toonie and the loony, but also the quarter, the dime, the nickel, the penny, all the classics, a full roster of coinage.
Oh man, you had the full starting 5?
Wow,
you're crazy.
And the quarter is the center.
Sure.
The penny is the point guard. Penny Hardaway.
Yeah.
The dime is the
point. Oh, the dime should be the point guard.
No, the dime is the 2 guard, and I think the nickel is the small forward.
Okay.
Oh no, we've run out of coins. Now we need the loony in there. It's complicated. Hey, also, will you accept this as a top 3 place to put carpet? Artificial putting green? Does that count?
I mean,
that's turf, I guess.
It's turf, yeah.
Borderline case.
Anyway, Short King, let's hear your take.
Yeah, what's the point?
Oh yeah. Your belt is too small to hold that much weight.
What are you talking about?
What do you have?
Your belt
I don't know
is
science.
Too small to hold a pocket full of coins?
So your pants are falling down because of the weight.
And this is only a problem for the Short King community?
Well, you know physics, Trey.
Yeah.
The bigger the belt, I don't even know if this is true. I'm just guessing. The bigger the belt, the more fabric in the pant, the more it resists against the heaviness of... Okay, well, if I was going to kill you and bury your body in a river, I'd need to put more weight on you than on me, in theory.
Okay, yeah. Agree. More ballast.
Right, but the coins are the same weight for me as they are for you. So, in proportion of body weight, they're weighing me down more than they're weighing you down.
Yeah. I guess that's true.
If you're living in an apartment where you got to get quarters for the washing machine, and you're collecting those, and you want to wear shorts, it's a hot summer day, forget about it.
No way. Oh, a belt with shorts, I hate that. If that ever comes up on This Goods wheel, that's a definite thumbs down. Belt with shorts feels weird.
Well, maybe it'll come up next on the spinning wheel. Tick, 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 tick. Tick, 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 tick. By the way, I just want to say that I do think turf was inspired by carpeting. So I think, all right, what does this one say?
Sleeping
Another thing.
naked.
Inspired?
What does that say? I can't read it.
It was sleeping naked.
Oh, sleeping naked.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we sort of found out that you don't sleep naked, Trey, because you said, I want to change my night clothes from my morning clothes. Is that a correct... I'm sorry to be farm Sherlock Holmes, but is that a correct inference?
Oh, elementary. Here's the twist, though. Summertime. Nude boy. Call me nude boy.
Wow. Okay, nude boy.
Hope that one catches on. But then once it gets colder...
Nude boy is the B-side to Brunch Man.
Oh, man, what a B-side that one was. But, yeah, I switched to... Once it gets cold, I switch to full flannel pajamas, matching tops and bottoms. But in general, I am going to be pro sleeping naked. The one concern for me is that I know Skeets is a big advocate of sleeping naked. So unfortunately, that comes to mind often when I'm going to bed naked. I'm like, oh, Skeets would love this.
You're climbing into bed and you're like, hey, Skeets is getting into bed naked too right now.
Oh, I'm going Skeets style here. He's the biggest proponent of sleeping naked to the point, Matt, like JD was testing this wheel ahead of time in between no dunks and is this good?
Oh, JD, you ruined the wheel.
Skeets looks up and he sees, ooh, sleeping naked. That's good. He's like, make sure you relay that it's good. So it is. But unfortunately, if you do it, you're going to think of either Skeets or, I hate to say it, I know my dad's a naked sleeper too.
Oh, wow.
So
No.
I got a lot of thoughts floating in when I go to bed. Sans clothes.
You're telling me that you get into bed and you go, so comfortable. I feel so cool and airy. But then you go, oh, my floppy penis is touching Egyptian cotton. That means Skeets' floppy penis is also, and my dad's floppy penis. And that all, now you can't sleep. You have a nightmare. You wake up, you're like, honey, I just had a terrible nightmare. She turns around, it's Skeets' face. You're like, oh, it's still a nightmare.
Look, I'm just saying it's something that I'm more cognizant of than I wish I was when I'm going to sleep. Does it keep me awake at night? No. What keeps me awake at night is The Bridge to Love Story by Taylor Swift.
Go on.
I don't know. Just one of those things that recently I've been waking up in the middle of the night and instantly Love Story is in my head. I don't know. The girls are
That's Marry Me, Juliet?
Yeah, that's right. You'll never have to be alone.
What is the bridge? I mean, you don't have to sing it, but just
I don't
just
know
to jog
right
my
now. It's the daylight hours. I can't think of it. I'm fully
be
clothed
nude.
and I'm wearing, and it's the middle of the day.
So it's interesting to me that your choice of how you sleep is purely based on temperature. Because to me, the reason why I don't sleep naked ever is I feel too exposed. So to me, the temperature is not really coming into it. I'm adjusting for temperature based on HVAC, I suppose. The classic way.
The classic way, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm not too worried about being exposed. I wear blankets, I got blankets over me. The door is closed, so if somebody comes in, I can ensure the blankets are over me.
Mm-hmm. Running after an intruder you're gonna step into the duvet, wear it like a sleeping bag, hop down the stairs.
Yeah, I'll be looking like a 90s guy waking up in a bed. Sheet only comes down to the waist every time. That is a risk. If there was ever an intruder when I'm sleeping naked, I'm going to be having a Viggo Mortensen style fight.
Ooh. Yeah.
All right, JD, so I guess the only question for you is your floppy penis hitting the sheets, or is it hitting a boxer?
I've said this before, but when I'm since we've had kids, I try to keep it in the middle of the night you got to get up. I don't want to they don't need to see me naked. Also, a bearded man naked is sort of like it's like seeing a wet cat, you know what I mean? Like
That's a good point,
it's
actually.
just like it's like a head, but the body doesn't match the head. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't have a lot of hair on the rest of my body. I have some hair, but it doesn't match. Like, it's just like this sort of disembodied sort of like that. Like, Dad, what? You swapped out your body for like a fat guy. So you know what I mean? Like,
I do know what you mean.
yeah.
I do.
Do you think, in theory, that a couple should agree, like either you're both clothed or both not clothed, or you think it's mixy matchies is fine?
You're trying to ask me if Laura sleeps naked?
I'm not asking you to say. I'm just saying, do you have to agree, or is it mixed match? Now, people at home can do the math.
You do not have to agree.
Okay. Now,
But
guys,
some nights you do agree.
Tried to figure out.
Some nights.
Ooh. All right, let's give that wheel a spinny spin, possibly for the last time. Acapella groups. Now, I'm not saying archipelagos. Okay, if you're listening, Chain of Islands.
I'm in. I'm in on the Chain of Islands.
No, I'm talking about when men or women get together, sometimes in mixed company, and say, Drums, we don't need them. Guitars, that can be simply replaced by me going, wee, ooh, ooh. And they're just harmonizing. There's a deep bass voiced guy and a high pitched guy. A guy's going to take the lead. And it just creates this delicious soup that we drink from. And that is called pentatonics.
What a delicious soup. Never thought of an a cappella group as a delicious soup, but you're right.
I would say in the internet age, a cappella groups have been widely ridiculed.
Okay.
I mean, they're a punchline, let's be honest.
I agree.
But are they good?
But they're also
And I'm gonna say
at
yes.
the peak of their powers. Like, how many Pitch Perfect movies did they make? They
3.
made several movies. 3 of them?
I think 3, at least 3.
3? And I know at least the first couple must have been very successful.
Yeah.
And to keep making them. So maybe they're on top of the world as well. But I feel like I don't encounter a cappella groups all that often, except for at the holiday season when pentatonics is... They're on. The soup, is on the oven for the pentatonics in the holiday time. And it is amazing what they can do with just their voices.
Yeah, but do you believe it? Because that's a studio album. You don't know what they're doing.
I don't... Interesting. I mean, I think the studio album versus the live performance would certainly be different. But I believe in pentatonics that when they're telling me we're only using voices on this recording, I think they're being legit with us.
And only 5 voices.
No, see, I don't know about
okay.
that. See,
Yeah.
I would imagine on a studio recording, they're double tracking and all that, this kind of stuff.
So we could be up to octotonics.
It could be octotonics
Right.
easily.
JD, I feel like you respect an a cappella group because you respect the craft.
Of course I do. Yeah, I just remembered that a major plot point in Pitch Perfect is they're an all-female group, but one of the girls has to get surgery, and then she can accidentally, I think, she can hit the low notes. You know what I mean?
Sing
like,
bass.
does that sound
And that's
right?
good. Like it works out for them.
It works out, yeah, because they're
The Bellas, I think. Is
yeah,
that
the
what they're-
Bellas. Yeah, I think they were because they're going against a mixed groups, and so they have like actual basses, but they had no bass in theirs. And anyways, yeah, I respect.
Good for them.
Yeah, I like those movies. I thought they were great. I do
No,
find
you like a riff off. You like a riff off, JD?
I sure do. Yeah. No diggity in the pool, in the empty pool. It was fucking great.
Good. That was good.
Hey, man, in your generation, empty pools were for skateboarding, but for my generation, they're for singing parts of songs and then singing other parts of songs that have a word in the previous song.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I do find them a little cheesy, I must admit. But you got to respect the craft. You have to.
Yeah,
You
I
do
totally
have to
agree. Like, I wouldn't say I'm a fan of a cappella groups, but in particular, the non-lead voices, it is cool to hear how they can create actual songs with rhythm sections and bass lines just from pure voice. And if you're a fan of beatboxing, you kind of got to be a fan of a cappella groups. And I feel the same way about beatboxing. I'm like, respect to that.
Totally.
I was just thinking that a very formative memory is an a cappella group came to my high school. Why? Doesn't make sense. They were old, and they came in and they were just doing like, do-ah, 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 diddy, just met a boy from New York City.
Classic.
And they were like, this sticks out in my mind. What audience were they thinking they had? They told us like, well, we were, what was it? It's like, we went down to Harvard and we was in the restroom, and then a guy from Yale was peeing next to me, and he said, hey, why didn't you wash your hands? And then I said, at Harvard, they teach us not to pee on our hands. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that, school? Paid good money to go to that. You wasted our goddamn time.
I guess you just hit on the bad thing about a cappella groups.
It's very cringy.
You play elementary schools. Like, those are your gigs, right?
Yeah,
you're not playing State Farm Arena or anything like that.
Yeah, but no roadies necessary.
That's a great point as well. Yeah.
You carry your instrument in your mouth.
You're your own roadie. Your bag is your bin. Your voice is your instrument. But there can only be one a cappella group on top. That's a tough part, too. Like, I don't think we're ever going to be in a world where we have two massively famous a cappella groups. So somebody's got to take Pentatonics down, otherwise the reign continues unabated.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know Harmony Dads on Instagram?
I don't.
They're dads that harmonize.
Wow.
So it's not just a clever name.
Yeah, they're like sitting around the dinner table, and they've always got their kids. You know, the kids are on their lap or they're carrying them around. So it looks like they're not even paying. Like one dad is just, you know, calming a child,
Right.
but he's still hitting the high C. You know.
What do you, Matt? Do you have an opinion on the one man a cappella group like a Bobby McFerrin, or when Billy Joel Lonely Time?
Yeah, but he wasn't doing that himself though.
He wasn't. That's not all Billy Joel. All the parts.
Oh, I mean maybe, but it's not like he's like Bobby McFerrin. I feel like throws his voice and does all the parts at the same time. No, or am I?
No way.
Okay, I don't know.
I don't know either.
That's your generation.
How about this, Matt? This one's from your generation. Did you ever watch that Reggie Watts comedy special where he's he is kind of a one-man a cappella, but he is recording things into like a phrase repeater sort of thing and making songs out of that. That's an awesome special.
Yeah. The looping pedal did change the game for the a cappella community.
Totally.
They frown upon it, I think.
I would think so.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
The purists.
There's no way they could like it. All right, well that was the wheel.
Wow.
I mean, there's still many more things to spin on that wheel. Now what I'll do is I'll go out, take out the ones we already did.
Okay.
Replace them.
Okay.
But I had fun spinning the wheel.
Yeah,
or I
it was
didn't get to
nice.
spin
The
it.
wheel's
How did
fun.
you feel? Wheel's fun. But of course, Trey, you know that there's only one thing left to do, and that's play subjective trivia. So, of course, subjective trivia is just like regular trivia, except only I know the answer. And today, seeing the free wheel got me thinking of game shows, where there is often a wheel that is spun. So, today's question is, which of these game shows is the easiest to compete in? Family Feud, Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, or The Price is Right? As always, I have my answer. It's written here on this card. Ideally, we get our answers to match. Which do I think is the easiest of these game shows to compete in? Family Feud, Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, Price is Right? Have at it, gentlemen.
I think Jeopardy's got to be the first cut. That's a tough game.
It's tough.
A lot of topics. You have no idea what the clues are going to be. Maybe you end up on the right episode and it's a bunch of subject areas that play to your strengths, but maybe not. Maybe you don't know about potables. So I'm cutting Jeopardy first off. But I'll be honest, JD, when Matt said what's the easiest game show to compete in, my first thought before he even got to the choices was it is Wheel of Fortune. You're literally guessing a letter.
Right.
There's only 26 of them. 5 of them you have to pay for. So really, we're talking about 21 you're getting to. You can look like an absolute clown if there's a lot of letters out there. You're just missing a couple and you guess something ridiculous. But I think that Wheel of Fortune is pretty easy and pretty generous in general. Like, they're giving away money like crazy on that show. So that's going to probably be my vote, but I'd like to hear your opinion.
Yeah, I think I'm with you because Family Feud is deceivingly hard because you have to get in the minds of 100 strangers who it's all survey based, right?
It's like subjective trivia. Kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
With 100 people at once.
And Price is Right is I find it very difficult. Guessing prices, especially growing up in Canada and trying to guess prices in America. So I think it's Wheel of Fortune.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh, jeez.
You got it right. It is Wheel of Fortune. Waff. Do you think anyone calls it waff?
No, we should start though.
No, they call it the wheel, don't they?
Oh, the wheel. Yeah,
They call it the wheel.
Yeah.
I think you're 100% right. Jeopardy was my first cut as well. Price is Right was my second cut because, like you said, like even like the test they give like political candidates when they're like, how much is a quart of milk? I'm like, let me stop you there. I don't know what a quart is. I'm Canadian.
What measurement
cannot
is
help
that?
you there. Let's start with the measurement is right.
Yeah.
They're like, how much is a hectare? I'm like, ooh, tough one, Bob. So that one's out the window. And frankly, there is also a shit ton of luck in Price is Right? Like if you get Plinko or something like that.
Right.
Actually, Plinko would be, come on, that would be the easiest if you get the Plinko.
Pure luck, yeah. The only time I think
but
Price is Right can be easy is Plinko, or if you're the last person to guess the first time through, you're like, I'll just guess $1.
Yeah.
I got a good chance.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then Family Feud had to be cut because Fast Money, I think, is incredibly hard, and I know the pressure would get to me, and I do a lot of
Yeah.
and especially if I was the second person to go. Fucking forget it. It's like I have one thought, and then if you don't like that thought, if you give me that, I don't have a second one, sir. I'm very sorry. Unless the question is, name a Canadian coin, and I go loony, and they're like, and I'm like toonie, and they're like, yes. Loony was the number one answer. But yes, the wheel. And this is a great time to remind everyone that I once rode in Pat Sajak's limo. Again, I once rode in Pat Sajak's limousine.
Was he wasn't in it, though.
He was not in it.
Jeez.
Why?
Yeah, what?
I feel like I've told this story before. The one and only time we ever went to Disney World in Florida, in Orlando, I was probably, 11, and we get to the hotel. It's somewhat late at night, and we check in, and they're like, yeah, we gave away your room. And we were like, what? And they're like, yeah, we gave it away. And they're like, we can help you call another hotel or something. And my dad said, absolutely not. Kids, get your stuff out of your luggage. We're sleeping in the lobby. No. And they said, we can't do that. We will call the police. And he said, call the police. I'm sure everyone here would love to know why you're kicking a family out for giving away their hotel room. And then they said, okay, sir.
I've never heard this story.
We will put you up at a similarly rated hotel for free. And to make up for it, we will give you free tickets to Disney World.
Wow.
Coincidentally, the very place we were going. And we will, because this hotel property is further, it's not near the Disney property, we will get you a limousine to take you from the hotel to Disney World every day. And boy, was that way better than staying in the first hotel. And so we get picked up by the limousine, and the guy, seeing there's me and my sister, we're probably like 10 and 11 or 11 and 12, and I guess to jazz it up and make us excited, he was like, Pat Sajak sat in that exact seat that you're sitting in. And I was like, and I knew, of course I know who Pat Sajak is.
Yeah.
And what was my first question? Vanna too? He said, no.
Oh.
But Pat Sajak,
Still.
yes. And that was sort of my first brush with celebrity.
Shared the same seat as Pat Sajak. Not at the same time.
Not at the same time.
But that's okay. That's a great story.
That's cool. I love that.
That's actually like several upgrades. I actually really like that. Nicely done by your dad.
I wish that the hotel had called the bluff a little further just to see the family, the Austins unpacking, just sort of let them let you guys live in the lobby for an hour or two.
Like we're Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell at an airport. Right. We're setting up a little blanket fort. I mean, it was much uglier than that. There was a lot of yelling.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of yelling. And there was a lot of, kids, why don't you go into the gift shop while your father deals with this?
Nice.
But anyways, the trip was saved, and boy, did I enjoy learning at Epcot Center.
So true.
Trey, thanks so much for coming on. Where can people find you?
Well, I'm on the internet at Trey Kerby, TreyKerby, on many different social media platforms, and I got a book coming out soon, The Adventures of Farm Sherlock Holmes. So stay tuned to that. Details to follow.
Bad shit's gonna happen in the corn maze.
It can't be
sure.
good.
It cannot be good, Sherlock. Do you like it, or does it ever happen? Do people tweet you or like tag you on Instagram of their fit and ask you to rate it?
I don't think so. Not that I remember.
Can I encourage people to do that?
Yeah, sure. Tag me.
All right, send Trey your fits.
I'll give you a 1 to 10.
Yeah, and then maybe you could do Fit Friday one week.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Show the top 5 No Dunks fans outfits.
Interesting.
I like
Just an idea machine over here. Remember, support the show at Patreon, patreon.com/isthisgood. You'll want to do that. You could sign up for a free trial this week to hear JD and Rachel. Unfortunately, I have to travel, ironically, back to Orlando.
Wow.
I am not going to Disney World, nor Universal Studios, nor a fun water park that I'm sure they have. It will be very boring and lame. But if you have topics, email us at isthisgoodpod@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Thanks to JD for spinning that free wheel. Thanks to Trey for coming on and being a guinea pig in this first great game show experiment. Thanks in advance for leaving a 5-star review for everyone. I'm Matt Austin, and this was good. We'll see you next week.